Welcome everybody to the Manage More Deep Dive sessions. Here you will hear a little bit about our alumni's experience during the whole Manage More program. Tonight, we will talk about network and community. I am happy to present to you here two incredible entrepreneurs, Vladi and Leo. How about we start with you telling us a little bit about yourselves, what you do, and tell us your why. What's your purpose? What drives you?
Okay, so that's a very, very broad question, but if you mind, I can start. So yes. Thank you for having us here. So I'm a Manage More scholar, Leo obviously also. I'm now one of the co-founders and now CEO of AskLio, where we do like AI for procurement. We are a Manage More startup with co-founders from the Unternehmertum, but also we have been part of Combinator. And yeah, I think it's like we are tackling now the thing, how we can really change how people work in enterprises, how people work in procurement, and really make an impact there. That's what I mean.
Super cool. Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm Leo, one of the co-founders of GLAICE Health. We are in the diabetes space, so we are helping people with diabetes, currently focusing on diabetes type 1 and type 2, to lead a sustainable, healthy life. So we support them with a digital assistant throughout their diabetes journey. And yeah, my background is more from the product and deep tech venturing part. But yeah, through Manage More, I also met three of my co-founders. So all of my co-founders are Manage More scholars. So super happy. Manage More had a huge impact on my founder journey.
Oh, that's insane. I mean, actually, that's a little bit about what we wanted to talk. It's your past journey, no? And you have an exciting journey ahead of you. You said you met your co-founders in Manage More. How? I mean, friendships, did you go to the speed datings? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I tried a lot of the speed datings Manage More had. But to be honest, in the end, it was like, I had like a personality development workshop with Michelle, one of my co-founders. And it was so like we had really meaningful conversations, and it was really, we really took a deep dive into, hey, what drives us? What are our values? And after that, we were like, hey, definitely a fit, like it's super cool. And Margo, my other co-founder, I met him during the strategy team. We both were in the strategy team in Manage More. So we had like a lot of work together. Like I think we worked together for 1 year. And so we already knew, hey, what's our style of working? And that's also what I see, what I value very much at Manage More, because you learn what does the person want, how does the person act, and you get to know your co-founders really, really good. And then afterwards, Almo joined, and Almo is also one of the one of the scholars at Manage More. And we met I think it was like an alumni dinner, and then he joined, so yeah.
Wow, I mean, at the end, it was the friendship that drove you together, right? So
absolutely. And I think that's also one of the things that are really, really important when founding a startup, that you as a team stay together no matter what happens, because like it's hard. I think you also know it's founding a startup is not like always fun. And if you vibe on a personal and deeper level, that definitely helps. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not like it's a roller coaster, but it's all about the team, as you mentioned. So like with the right team and the right persons, you can basically then achieve everything, or achieve like the impact you want to do. And Manage More basically gives you a blueprint to find the right team, to also then when you start up growth, to learn about leadership, to apply these leadership skills at your team. So not only on the like co-founder matching level, but also on a level where, as I mentioned, you grow your team and you inspire other people. It's very powerful what you can then do.
Yeah, and maybe one fact, which is, I love the fact that now more and more exits happen. So now Manage More alumni start to invest more and more into Manage More startups. And I think that's super cool, because that creates a dynamic that you have like your entire ecosystem. Like you found your co-founders, you find maybe someone is in like a position in a company, you need to do interviews to validate something, so you have an easier entry. And in the end, probably some of them are investors, and they not even can give you intros, but probably also invest themselves. And I think that's insane.
Of course, so all people there manage more start like with, oh, I have an idea, and maybe like 5 years after that they become angel investors or join like a venture capital firm, which then invests into Manager More startup. And also if you have the team, like Manager More gives you like the confidence to even build a startup, right? So when I think about like this innovation projects we did with some companies or the partnerships, basically all skills you learned there and the whole journey, like communicating with B2B companies or whatever, you can simply like copy and paste what you did there or, to your startup, and then you have like a road to success. That's awesome.
Yeah. I think so too. I love that you have the project-based learning, so that you're not like, hey, I have something in theory and I don't know, 3 days later I know nothing about it. But if you really go through the process, then yeah, this is knowledge you have for your entire life. And I think that's really, really cool also.
Yeah, it's all about like taking action, right? So we all study, obviously, at some universities, so we all have this theoretical part. It's already there, but when you join Manager More, you also expect this, practical learnings and taking action, and that's what you get. So, and when you take action, this action produces information, and then it builds a lot of things.
Was it a shock for you guys, like this transition from theory to practice kind of thing, like what you're taught in the university to what you live in Manager More, and of course what you experience afterwards in your startup life?
I mean, for me, like I always love to build products and take action. So I always say, like, I had my own small little Manager More, like doing my own thing, and then I joined the community and basically met people that have like the same mindset. So it's not that it shocked me; it more inspired me that other people also have like the same mindset, and this mindset is called like being an entrepreneur. Yeah. And if you then meet with like-minded people, so it's more inspiring than shocking, I would say. I don't know how about you.
Yeah, I think for me it was always like, I always was like, hey, I will be an inventor someday. And then I realized, yeah, probably like inventing things and making it also on the business side viable. Then in the end, you have a startup. So that's what I learned. But I always had the passion to, hey, I want to build things. And also during my study program, I was like, it was very practical and practice oriented. So we did like a lot of projects with companies. But in the end, I was looking for the people who were like, hey, let's, I don't know, change the world. And I think this mindset, or Manager More, is the perfect breeding ground to bring together those people who are like, okay, let's just do it. I think that's what I loved, and that's what I was also looking for.
Yeah, like what you need is like the so-called like reference group, right? So you need to hang out with the right people. So, and then if you apply to Manager More and you get accepted, you basically there are like 20 or 25 other people that have like exactly the same mindset as you said. Like, okay, let's take action, let's change the world, let's impact something. And it's also like you get a lot of like mentors, right? So you meet people like your team members or your potential co-founders that are like on the same startup journey as you are, but then you also meet people that are already done it, right? So they already exited the company, as it said. So you can always, like Manager More applies to the whole startup journey. So if you start out, if you just think about starting a startup, but also if you hire your first people, there's always someone that already did this, or if you exit your first company, there are a lot of people that already exited a company in Manager More, where you can be there. And like in my case, it's not only like team members, co-founders, mentors, but even like my mentor in Manager More, he became like a really, really good friend, and also it started with friendship and then became like co-founders and mentors, I would say like that.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, and we already have one word, like inspiring. There's common the saying, if you surround yourself by 5 entrepreneurs, you'll be the 6th, and so on, right? And you talk a lot about support and community. What's your biggest or like most fun memory of your Manager More time?
For fun memories, to be honest, there were a lot. But I think like not only fun, but also like it's like fun and beautiful moments. And I think it were the moments when you had like vacations together, when we did like, I think we rented like it was an entire, I don't know what this was, like an old hotel or so, and we were there with like 40 people for like a week or so. And that was so nice. And we had like super fun moments. We had like super meaningful, deep conversations where we were like with 2 to 3 people until, I don't know, to midnight or even 2 a.m. And you were just talking about, hey, what is vulnerability? Or so it's not about only like, hey, everything's fine, cool, and you hustle and you start your startup, but it's more, it goes beyond that. It's also like, hey, what are even your traumas and how do you deal with them? So I think that's even more meaningful, because like you can have like a business network everywhere, but going beyond that and being like also like, hey, I don't know how to deal with that situation. That's so valuable. Also on a business side, I think.
Yeah, I want to double down on that. So it's not about like the business things you like learn there. It's like really about the people and the team, because that's all what matters. So as I mentioned, like especially like startup or all this innovation part, it's all it's a roller coaster. So you need people that basically go through it, and as you said, like experience some trauma, and maybe you can refer to that also. I think like one of my fun experience was like a crazy coincidence that happened. So you all know like the apartment or renting apartments in Munich is crazy. It's a crazy market. It's fairly impossible to do this. And how you do this in Manage More, you simply like, you said, hey, I need somewhere where I need to stay. And then like, I think within 30 minutes, a Manage More mentor reached out to me and said, hey, I have a free space here. And then I basically moved to him. And then at the end, we even founded a company together, or founded this project together. So it's like completely crazy, and it's all happening through Manage More. It's all these coincidences, and then all the deep talks, and they happen there.
Absolutely. It's like a little bit like serendipity. Like it just happens. And I think that's the beauty. Yeah.
Wow, I mean, that's just crazy, the whole ecosystem that it builds at the end, the whole support, right? But coming back a little bit to your journeys as founders and so on, you went to YC Combinator, one of the biggest accelerators in the world. How was that experience? Do you think or feel that Manage More kind of pushed you a little bit? Did you feel any support in that matter?
Yeah, so I think like what's really cool about YC or Y Combinator is like often people think they lack like knowledge or they lack energy, but what they really lack is like focus. So focusing on one thing, and that's what Y Combinator provides you with, a crazy environment where you focus on your things. But being able to be accepted into Y Combinator Manage More was a big part of that, because also YC, like as you mentioned, like the biggest accelerator in the world, most successful one, but also they say it's all about the team. So they invest in teams, they invest in people. They do not invest in ideas, and it's the same spirit in Manage More. So Manage More is all about people, because they know, okay, these people create crazy things. People create everything that we see around us here, and it's not just the ideas. And yeah, so even like the last person I talked to before doing the YC interview was a Manage More mentor, and he did like the mock interviews with me or with us. So and also there are some other Manage More startups that has been accepted to Y Combinator. So obviously I also talked to those founders that are already living in the Silicon Valley. So I asked them, okay, how did you manage to do this? They helped me out. So it's a crazy thing. So yeah, like without Manage More being like I wouldn't be able to get me and my team into Y Combinator. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I think for us it's the same. Like also the mentors we had like in the early phase, like also the connections we had. Like there was one connection that in the end helped us to get like a funded clinical trial, and that connection came through a connection at Manage More. Like they connected us to another person and then to another person, and we ended up with that expert who led the clinical trial, and we were like, wow, okay, that's insane. And that's the power of Manage More. Like even if some people don't know that person directly, I don't know, I think you need like 2 to 3 more connections and you have like the access to everyone you need. like I think there are no more connections than 2, maximum 3.
Yeah, you just need to ask, right?
Yeah.
So.
And that's also very important. I think that's also what I learned at Manager More, like ask for help. Like there are so many people and they are like, yeah, of course you are from Manager More. Then you're like, okay, I will help this person. Like for me, it's the same. If someone asks me like, and I'm like, I don't have that much time right now for this. And then this person is like, yeah, I'm from Manager More. I'm like, okay, I will make time.
That's make 5 minutes.
Yeah,
It's fine.
yes, that's it, of course.
So I mean, you just have to ask. So when and then it's crazy how many people will help you. So when I moved to Munich, so I didn't know anyone here, so I hadn't someone to ask things. But then when you join communities like Manager More, they're like hundreds, or if you do like the network thing, you have like thousand people that you can ask, and then basically everything is manageable then.
I think I had the same situation with my roommates. Like when I was in Berlin, I was looking for a room in Munich, and I was like, wow, okay. Now the market in Munich, how should I be able to just get a flat? And I was like, literally the next day, I was like, hey, someone has a free space. And I was like, hey, I'm looking for it. And 2 days later, I had like a room, and I was like, wow, this is not real.
Yeah, I mean, the topic is about community, but I think one fact here is like the best apartments in Munich, you get them through community.
Yes,
so that's a golden nugget for you here.
So sign up.
Yeah, sign up.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for your insights, guys. It was really inspiring to hear both of you and also your stories and experience throughout Manager More. So, yeah.
Yep,
Thank you very much.
So, are you interested in innovating yourself and shaping the future as well? Become part of the community and apply now.